Yeah, look, Michigan really is this hotbed. Of course, in the state of Michigan, thanks to the Democrat governor there, you can't even plant a crop of butter beans in your backyard. You can't go out on a motorboat to go fishing. It's just outrageous, the curtailment of civil liberties in the state of Michigan. And as a result, a lot of people have been protesting and they've been showing up at the state capitol. Now, a couple of weeks ago, there was a huge dust up because many people that were part of a militia group showed up with weapons and they stormed the Capitol building. And they plan to show up again on Thursday of this week. We're not quite sure what that protest looks like. But again, I want to caution folks, there's no need to do that. We're not talking about a revolution here. We're talking about a state government that is actually working through the process legislatively to restore rights there. So let's let the process work before you storm the Capitol building with the firearms. That being said, over in California, for example, the lockdown is going to be extended by 3 months in Los Angeles County. And the mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, actually got on television. He was on CNN with Anderson Cooper, and he said, well, the good news is we're going to open up the beaches, but you can only do certain things on the beaches. So you can sunbathe, but you can only sunbathe in the wet sand. You can't sunbathe in the dry sand. Who's going to sunbathe on the wet sand? I mean, this is like a beach Nazi in real time here.
Wow. Well, tell us what happened at a diner in Fresno on Mother's Day.
Yeah, so this is it's a very popular waffle joint. It's not the Waffle House. It's called the Waffle Shop. And the owner there, just a good American citizen, wants to live the American dream. And, they said, you know what, we got to reopen for business. If we don't, we're not going to have a business to open down the road. So they reopened over the Mother's Day weekend, and they had a huge crowd. And the code enforcement officers showed up. And the citizens that were standing in line waiting to eat their waffles actually formed a human blockade. They wouldn't let the code enforcement officers into the waffle shop. It was amazing. It was like, I don't know, Bunker Hill with waffles. And so the code enforcement officers then called the police. The police show up, and the video, which is just unbelievable, the police officer forces his way through the crowd, literally shoving people aside. He ended up taking a man and his wife, they were elderly couple, into custody. They were later released, but they still may face charges for obstructing a police officer. This is a troubling thing that this kind of pushback is happening. But the good news here, American citizens engaging in their constitutional rights to go out on Mother's Day and eat a waffle.
There's also another disturbing case, Todd, of overreach out of Illinois about, I guess, the shutting down of parks. What's that about?
So there is a small community, a village there, and they have public parks, and they got very concerned because the boys and girls were playing on the monkey bars and the merry-go-round, and they said, well, we can't have that. This is a global pandemic. So they shut down the parks, and then they put up this bright orange fencing around the parks to prevent boys and girls from getting inside. Well, they also had a skate park there, very popular. And the skate park, by the way, was built by volunteer efforts there in the community. And the skateboarders were told they could not skateboard. Of course, the young people did not pay attention, and they continued to skate. And when they showed up one day, they discovered the entire skate park had been completely filled with wood chips. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. Well, what should citizens who are concerned about overreach and constitutional rights do?
Well, I think citizens have an obligation to stand up and fight for their rights, and they have to do it within the confines of the law. They have to get out there, march in the streets, go to the city council meetings. They have to vote. Elections have consequences. Just ask the sunbathers and paddleboarders in California. So you've got to engage in the process, in the system. Our voices have to be heard here. And if not, then, we get what we deserve here, folks. I mean, again, it's not the government taking away our rights. It's the American people allowing their rights to be taken away. And that's not good.
Okay, Todd Starnes, thanks again for bringing us these stories. We appreciate it.
Thank you.